Christine Fréchette will be sworn in today as the 33rd Premier of Quebec. Fréchette, of course, elected with 58% support up against Bernard Drinville in the CAQ leadership race. Fréchette already asking for changes to be made, asking Finance Minister Éric Girard to come up with a plan to help Quebecers in their wallets, in their purses. She's going to hold her first caucus meeting as Premier after being sworn in. Let's head over now to Lafrenière, Quebec's Public Security Minister, the MNA for Vachon. He's on the line. Monsieur Lafrenière, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning to you.
Where do you think, because I know you're obviously happy about the results from over the weekend, where do you think Christine Fréchette, as Premier Fréchette, where do you think she will move your party?
But first of all, as you know, once the Premier Legault announced that he was leaving, I took a week to think of the futures, wondering myself whether or not I will be presenting myself. And I've decided to join Christine, and why that is, because I think she's the best one to bring us to a different situation at the general election. Because now, yes, we've done a race, but believe me, the marathon is starting today because there will be a general election next October. Our party is not in a good situation at this moment. People have been asking for a change, and this is what's going to happen.
So where do you think the party should go? Because as I look at it, I think all of Quebec politics is completely in flux. Like Éric Duhem and the Conservatives, they're trying to get the Drinville people to go over. I looked yesterday, the Liberal Party Quebec, they announced a TikTok star to be one of their candidates. I think they're moving towards the left and trying to get a different type of voter too. And then I see your party and I say, which direction does it go in? So tell me about that. Your party's in flux. Where do you think it should go?
Yes, look at the numbers. Normally, I don't comment numbers, but now I will do this morning. I've been looking, difference between the Liberal and the PQ. They're taking numbers one to the other. So I don't believe that someone that was willing to vote for the Liberal will decide to go for the PQ. So why am I saying that? I believe there's a bunch of people, CAQ people, sitting there saying that they're not happy and they want a change on our side. So that's the reason why I believe that with Christine, with what's going to happen with her, which is a change in the tone and change in the way of doing things, I believe that these people that said that we're not happy at the CAQ will come back, and this is what I think.
Okay, so I'm the way you just answered that question, I think, is a perfect segue into something that I wanted to bring up with you this morning, right?
Yeah.
So I think you're right. A Liberal voter going over to the PQ, not exactly going to happen. Okay, but a Liberal voter may be saying, okay, I'll vote again for the CIQ. Could happen. But I want to ask you about something that our listeners, right? You're on CJAD, English speaking audience, right?
Sure.
Something that we've been through. 2018, we remember François Legault. And, you had a bilingual CAQ website, and you were saying, Anglos, join us. We are a coalition. You are part of the coalition. Join us. And you know what happened? And, with people like Christopher Skeet and others, you know what happened? Non-Francophones did join you. I saw the polling at times where you were 35% of non-Francophones were voting CAQ. And then something happened. And I think it goes to that Dawson decision where, you guys were in favor of the Dawson expansion project just to give the CJAD proper facilities. And then you said, no, we're not going to do the Dawson expansion. And then the hits to the Anglo community, whether it's attacking English school boards, whether it's Bill 96 kept coming. I wonder if you think, based on your answer, you need to get people that would vote Liberal to come back to your party. Does your party need to mend fences with Anglos, have a reset with the Anglo community?
I'll be straight and honest with you. We've been facing communication issues. Why am I saying that? Because we can protect French, and believe me, I've been talking to different Anglos, and they got nothing against it. Protecting French, this is something important, but it doesn't have to be in confrontation of the Anglos. And this is where I think that we went wrong in terms of communication. Believe me, during Bill 96, I received, text messaging from people that I heard that police officer will seize their cell phone to see whether or not they will be texting in English. You do understand this is everything but true. But because of a lack of communication, that message went through. People got scared. They thought that, we were fighting Anglos. And this is not the case at all. So yes, in the tone, in the way of doing things, but we don't have to be sorry to protect French. This is normal, but it doesn't have to be against Anglos. And I can, segue to one of my portfolio, which is First Nation and Inuit. People have been scared also because for them, the first language is not French or English. So they got scared of that. So yes, in terms of communication, we can do way better.
We're with Yann Lafrenière, Public Security Minister, M&A for Vachon, and we're talking about the new Premier, Christine Fréchette. She'll be sworn in as Premier later today. Okay, so on the communication front and on mending those fences and I guess strategy moving forward, what do you think the right message should be? And I'm not necessarily talking about language here. What should be the message from your party about to Quebecers right now?
But first of all, you said that the new premier will be named today. So it's going to happen. This is stage one. Then the new cabinet will be chosen. This is another message. And then priorities. And I'm quite sure you heard Christine about her priorities, talking about the economy, talking about the cost of living. These are priorities that everyone are talking about. So those messages, and I do understand we don't have 6 months. We get between 60 and 100 days to send a message to connect back to people. So I'm not going to share everything this morning, but believe me, there's a huge strategy to put in place to reconnect. If not, it's going to be a catastrophe in next October. So we do know we need to change that.
Let me ask you about your position here. There will be a cabinet shuffle next week. You want to keep your current role? You're confident about keeping your role?
You know the answer. Huh? This is, if you know the Saint-Hubert restaurant, on Tuesday, the cheese choice. And on my side, it's going to be the cheese choice. I'm not going to choose anything. I get a military background, so, I'll be going wherever she want to send me. Am I happy where I am? Yes. Mm-hmm. Would I be happy whatever she's going to send me? Absolutely. I'm a trooper, and we get a good team. We know we need to do things differently, and I think we're all part of that.
So, cuisse or poitrine, leg or breast? You're happy with either.
Her choice.
as long as you get some chicken, you'll be happy at the end of the day.
As long as I'm part of the team, and again, it's going to be some tough decisions. Yeah. There won't be room for everyone at the cabinet level. Mm-hmm. So there are going to be some tough decisions.
What's the message to the Drainville people, the 42% that wanted the other guy? And I hear reports that some of them are being courted by other parties like Eric Duhem and the Conservatives. What's your message to keep the unity in the party?
But first of all, this is a coalition. So this is normal to have two axes. I'm talking about Fréchette and Drainville. There were two different approaches. People have chosen. They've chosen Christine Fréchette, and I'm extremely proud and happy. She's the second female that will be the Premier of Quebec. And believe me, this is quite a change. And that person, I'm calling her my partner. I've been working with her with my file for Indigenous. She's the right person. She's easy to connect to. She's extremely present on the field. So as much as people will connect to her, will know who she is, I'm sure they will appreciate Christine as much as I do appreciate her.
You're not worried about some people saying this party is no longer for me and going somewhere else?
Is there a danger of that? Absolutely. We get to reconnect to who we are. We can't please everyone. It's a coalition, but we get roots. Mm-hmm. And what we are, we're not going to do a country with this province. It's not going to happen. This is not us. Mm-hmm. But we need to be respected in Canada. And I've been in the army for 30 years, so you do understand I'm not really on the separatist side. But that have been said, we respect that. We respect people that we're a bit more like on the nation-building side. And we said, you know what, let's work together to bring this province, to bring this nation to where it should be. So as soon as those results were known Sunday, I walked to the Drainville side, shaking hands, because you do understand it was not a race against Drainville. It was a race for Christine. So we're not one against the other. It's the same family. I got friends in there. Bernard, I know him. He's a good guy. It's not a question of being a good guy or not. It's just political decision, strategic decision, saying, you know what, who's going to bring me to the best position next October? And I strongly believe it was Christine.
Monsieur Lafrenière, one thing that's also clear from our interview is that you are a chain of command kind of guy, and I guess the Army background helps there too. Thanks for coming on this morning.
It was a pleasure. Talk to you soon. Huh?
Yann Lafrenière is Quebec's Public Security Minister, M&A for Vachon.
I'm Luke Wilson. Join me each week for Film Never Lies. Since retiring from the NFL, I've had a lot on my mind, and now I've got my own show. So if you're tired of lazy takes, if you want honest conversations, join us each week. Film Never Lies, available on all TSN platforms and the iHeartRadio app.